How do you wake up at 5 a.m. even if you don't feel like it? I'll tell you, me, myself, and I wake up at 5 a.m. no matter what. My body naturally wakes up at 5 a.m. Sometimes 4, lately 3. I can't help it. It depends where I'm at in the country. If you know, I travel a lot. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a digital nomad. I'm able to run my business from anywhere, but in order for me to be productive and stay motivated and be able to get through my day, I actually have to wake up at 5 a.m. earlier than anyone else so that I'm able to do that. But I can't tell you how many times I talk to other people and they say, oh my gosh, 5 a.m. I can't believe you get up at 5 a.m. How do you do that? I'm about to tell you all of my tips and tricks and everything that allows me to do just that. Without further ado, how do you wake up at 5 a.m.? Okay, so like I said, I naturally wake up at 5 a.m., sometimes 4, sometimes 3, because of my dogs that like to wake me up, but I've always been that way. I've always woken up at 5 a.m. My parents have always woken up at 5 a.m. I've just always been an early riser. I've always had jobs that were early jobs. I never worked late night shifts. Those weren't any of my skill sets. That's one thing that probably contributes to it. But I do have a 5 a.m. routine and I have a nighttime routine. So I have a morning routine, a nighttime routine, and then I actually hate waking up at any time other than 5 a.m. So if I wake up after 5 a.m., I actually feel like half my day's gone and I just can't catch up. And so I just feel left behind, like I haven't accomplished anything. Or if I just don't go to sleep at a certain time, I feel groggy and I don't wake up at the right time. Let's talk about some ways that you can wake up at 5 a.m. and how you can feel motivated and get up even if you don't feel like it. The first tip that I have for you to wake up at 5 a.m. is obviously set an alarm on your phone. Go into your phone, set an alarm, or you can have an alarm, period, just in your room or wherever you're going to be at. Maybe you have multiple alarms. That might help as well. I don't need an alarm. I naturally wake up. I can't tell you the last time I set an alarm. The only time I set an alarm is if I need to be somewhere or do something at a certain time, because I just like to wake up when my body wakes me up, because usually I'm up before 5 a.m. anyways. Maybe put your alarm in the other room in a separate place away from you, so that way when it goes off, you feel like, oh, I have to get up and go get that alarm. Now I would put one where you can hear it, and then also maybe one in a second room or something like that. The second idea that I had in tips and tricks for you to wake up at 5 a.m. even if you don't feel like it is getting a dog. My dogs wake me up at 5 a.m. I have 4 dogs and 1 cat. If you didn't know that, welcome to Birdie's Doghouse. I love my dogs and they are on a routine just like me. So they're like their mom. They get up at 5 a.m., sometimes 3, 4, whatever time they feel like it, and they let me know it's time to get up too. And usually once they wake me up, I can't go back to sleep. And plus, if you have a dog or some type of responsibility, then you're almost forced to get up because you have to deal with it. You can't say, oh, I'm just not going to get up and let them go to the bathroom, because if I don't, they're going to go to the bathroom in the house. Another way to get up at 5 a.m. is shower and get ready. So even if you work from home, I would highly suggest, even if you're in the RV van like me or camping at times, I still always get up and I either take a shower, and if I'm in the van, I can't necessarily take a shower ASAP, but I'll splash my face with water, or I'll brush my teeth, or wet wipes, or whatever it is to get clean and fresh and dressed to go throughout my day. Maybe even have your outfit ready like the night before, and get dressed as soon as you can. So get dressed that morning, get things ready the night before. Sometimes I've even had people that shower the night before so they get a good night's sleep and then they're ready to go the next day. And so if your routine is that you start taking showers at night versus showers in the morning, maybe that works out better for you. I always like to feel like I'm also ready in case of an emergency. I don't like to lay around and be lazy, because if somebody calls, if my mom needs something or somebody calls, an emergency happens, I want to be able to just hurry up and go and not be like, oh, I gotta brush my teeth and comb my hair and like take a shower. I'd rather just be ready in the beginning of the day, so whatever's thrown at me, I'm able to do. Or even run outside if I had to run outside or something. Another tip for getting up early at 5 a.m. and staying motivated even if you don't feel like it is going to bed early. It may sound kind of simple, but how do you plan to get up early if you don't go to bed early? So you need to get enough sleep the night before to be able to get up the next morning on time. And so I do actually go to bed really early. I probably start falling asleep about 7, 8 o'clock at night, and by 9 p.m. I am passed out. You will not catch me staying up late. If I stay up late, I get groggy and irritated and grumpy, and I'm normally just probably not extremely fun to be around. I'm not a late night person. I'm an early morning person. I work my best when it is before noon. Early in the morning. Another tip I have for getting up at 5 a.m. even if you don't feel like it is caffeine. So having coffee or some type of maybe a soft drink or even like an energy patch, those things are going to help you have energy to go throughout your day. So I always start my day with coffee. I cannot have my day started without coffee. It's probably the very first thing I do. When I wake up, I let the dogs out and I start brewing my cup of coffee and I sit down and I'll start reading my articles or going through my Bible or whatever I have that morning. I'll look through my list, the things that I need to do, and I'll just sip on my coffee and hang out. And so the caffeine obviously is going to help me stay up and alert. We also, if I haven't mentioned this or you don't know that, we have an energy company. So we have an energy patch that you put on and it gives you energy. And so it's an all natural form of energy and it allows me to stay awake. So it's not just like a high at the beginning of the day. It's actually like a gradual increase in energy that goes throughout the day. And again, if you're going to drink coffee or caffeine or any kind of energy supplements, you want to make sure, one, that they're safe, but two, that you're not doing them too late in the day so it keeps you from actually going to bed early so that you can get up early. So you don't want to be forced to stay up late if you need to get up early, and those energy things can cause that to happen. Okay, so another tip I have for getting up at 5 a.m. even if you don't feel like it, do not eat late. We call it dinner up in our house, which is lunch and dinner. And so it's a late afternoon meal. We don't try to eat too late up in my household. We want to make sure that we eat before we go to bed, but not too late before we go to bed. Because if you eat too late, for me, I get acid reflux and I lay down on my food and it just doesn't settle in my stomach before I'm able to actually go to sleep. But if I don't eat before I go to bed, then I'm hungry and I can't sleep and I kind of wake up either groggy in the morning and starving, or I'll go to sleep and then I'll feel like, oh, I want to get up and go eat food. But I really never wake up in the middle of the night and go eat food or snack or anything like that. So it's one positive thing I will say I don't do. Another tip that I have for waking up at 5 a.m. is not drinking. Stop drinking alcohol. So I actually haven't drank alcohol in at least 6 months, probably longer by the time you're watching this video. But we have a rule of either not drinking at all, which is our household rule for multiple reasons, which will have to be a whole nother video. And I've also seen people that'll do like, oh, I don't drink during the week, or I don't drink after a certain time, or I only drink on the weekends. You have to figure out what works for you. But for us, not drinking and me not having that alcohol in my system, it doesn't force me to stay up late. It doesn't make me wake up groggy. It doesn't change my mind and my perception and everything that's going on in my head. I really never have to worry about waking up with a hangover or feeling tired or having any kind of issues because of alcohol, because I don't drink. Another tip that I have for waking up at 5 a.m., even if you don't feel like it, how do you do that, is to eat breakfast. I'm not a huge breakfast person, and at least I wasn't for a while, but recently I have started getting into the whole breakfast thing. Eating eggs and toast and heavier things like protein and carbs in the morning helps me not only burn off all of those calories during the day, but it gives me energy. So I take probably my heavier meals and I'll eat them either for morning or at lunch. I won't eat as heavy of a meal at dinner per se. So that way I have the whole day to burn off those calories and also get that energy from the things that I'm eating. So if I'm gonna eat something bad, I would eat it earlier in the day. Another tip that I have for waking up at 5 a.m., even if you don't feel like it, imagine if you can't get up. I want you to just think, what if I can't ever physically get up again? When you're laying in that bed and you're like, oh, I don't want to get up, I just don't feel like getting up. I want you to think, what if you can't? What if there's someone out there that wishes they could get up and they can't? And you are laying in your bed, lazy as you know what, saying, oh, I just hate my life. It's so horrible to have to get up at 5 a.m. But there's people out there that just wish that they could get out of bed and they don't have the ability to. Don't take it for granted, the thing that you've been gifted, which is 2 arms and 2 legs and a working mind and body, because some people don't have that. And also, that little gift that you've been given might be taken away just as fast as you got it. People can take it back. You know what I'm saying? People can take it back. And when we're talking about people, that brings me to my last tip and trick for waking up at 5 a.m. And how do you do that? How do you get up at 5 a.m. and actually feel motivated? Well, maybe you just think about who commanded me to do that. What is my purpose here on earth, and how am I going to get it done if I'm just laying around all the time? So spiritually, I think about God commands us to get up and not be lazy. So yes, there's a time to have rest and recharge your batteries, but I believe that you should have a not so strict schedule, but more of a balanced schedule. So I don't necessarily work a 9 to 5. I'm not the type of person. I do not do well. If you don't know, I made a video all about I quit my 9 to 5 job. And so once you become a digital nomad and an entrepreneur and you have to learn how to do things on your own, you have to have your own systems and your own strategy for getting things done. And so for me, I don't have a really strict schedule. My schedule can change from day to day, but I do have systems and things that I put in place, which I've talked about in some prior videos about how I keep my life organized, productive, motivated, stay focused. I believe in having a balance between my life, my work, my family, worship, rest. What that looks like to you throughout the day could be different than what it looks like to me. But by me being able to get up at 5 a.m., I just feel like the whole world is still. And I can hear from the Holy Spirit, and whatever it is that you believe in, I just feel like I can hear. It's quiet, nobody else is moving, and I can get things done that I normally couldn't get done if everybody is up and moving and popping and shaking. So it's not just about how to wake up at 5 a.m., but why you should wake up at 5 a.m. Either waking up at 5 a.m. or staying up late. Some people are like, oh, well, I can stay up late versus wake up early. Maybe that's your thing, but for me, that doesn't work. I have to wake up early. It's just a natural thing in my body, and I have no control over it. Now you know some tips and tricks for how to wake up at 5 a.m. even if you don't feel like it. So I want you to comment below and let me know which one of these tips and tricks was your favorite, or do you have one that I should add to my list? Do you even wake up at 5 a.m. or do you need to start waking up at 5 a.m.? Is that something you've been struggling with? Comment below and let me know. I can't wait to read your comments. They're my love language. And of course, if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button below and subscribe to my channel and tap that little bell icon so you're notified each and every time I publish a new video. If we haven't officially met, I'm Brandi. Again, thanks for watching this video. I've got tons of other videos that I'll drop a link to about productivity and getting up early and staying up late and all my fancy focused motivational videos. I'll put them in a playlist below this video. You can grab those in the description, or you can also head over to blogandbrandi.com and find all of those. Until the next time, I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.